All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. We're gonna check its local and city searches and see if they got BSS for any of them. Now we're here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our graph here, our FSIC graph in white down below. Highest intent peeps on the left. These people searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city today, right now. We talk about how to get these people to come to us in our videos here about BSS. These people discover us, come to us, buy from us. These are highest converting, closest to the money. We got to dominate these people. Then we have on the right, lowest intent peeps. We talked about interfacing with these peeps at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And talk about BLCS over there. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That's when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 in Google. 0 slots, that's a fast death. That means we're on page 2 or deeper. And we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So yeah, they're page 1 and done searches, never even hit page 2. That's no bueno. Also 1 slot on page 1 Google, that's not good either because there's 10 organic slots. It means there's probably gonna be 9 other boudoir photographers each with 1 slot. So guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We ain't standing out. We're not dominating. And as a result, what's approximately 80% of boudoir buyers gonna do? They're gonna click down everyone on page 1 and page 1 only, because remember, approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So everyone down page 1, open everyone up, do a contact form for everyone, get a price quote, negotiate, bring down the margins, get more for less, blah, blah, blah. Waste time, waste time, waste time. And 9 out of 10 of those contact forms ain't even going to buy from us. So, only probably 10% will buy. So, like both these situations, 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google, our business is either dying fast or dying slow, but in both cases, it's dying. And 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google is not normal. It's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a small number of page 1 links on Google. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, yeah, most peeps know this. People upgrade their iPhones all the time, get new cameras all the time, and eventually more peeps are throwing up their Google My Business profiles and they now shoot boudoir. They throwing up their website saying they do boudoir photography. They post more often in the mom groups on Facebook saying they do boudoir photo shoots. Everyone understands it's kind of natural, it gets more and more competitive over time. Now this new one is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is new, but because a lot of boudoir photographers basically, kind of without thinking, kind of everyone is auto-accepted. They're like, yeah, as a boudoir photographer, my website will get, I get either 0 or 1 slots, page 1 on Google. If I get 1, cool. If I get 0, cool. And maybe I had page 1 on Google, but now I'm on page 2 of Google. So I'm not on page 1 anymore. And it's like, oh, well, that's simply the game. But no, that's 100% incorrect. That is the false belief of page 1 equality in action. What's actually true is Google will actually give us as many slots on page 1 of Google search as we want, or as we want to as we put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new method we discovered. Finally, we know that boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Yeah, I mean, if you got 0, 1 slots, page 1 Google search, you're either disappearing fast or disappearing slow. Both cases were disappearing, and this is kind of like a red flag, a warning light, canary in the coal mine, or basically, if we are a disappearing boudoir photographer, that means our business is now on the path to disappearing as well. But thankfully, we now have a solution. Discover that BSS boudoir search sameness is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. And it works exactly as the word said, as the title says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there. And that's kind of like snowing, raining at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America, the east side, the back side there. So when that happens, well, it's mostly gonna be snow. That snow melts year round. That water flows into small streams and eventually small rivers. And that all flows into the large Amazon River. So the Amazon River is page 1 Google search. So we gotta get the snow at the top of the mountain, saturate social search, to then get stuff to flow down to the Amazon River, page 1 Google search. That's basically how that's how it works. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually allow the business to still continue to grow, even with current market saturation and growing market saturation, and give them the opportunity relatively quickly. Now, the only other solution I've seen give those same benefits are having a large, well-known brand. But dude, we ain't. Those take 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here. AI is taking people's jobs. We do not have 5 to 10 years. So, building a large, well-known brand, that ain't happening anytime soon. But interestingly, with S-Cube methodology, yeah, we can get some kind of initial more market share, more page one Google slots, also stuff like that, kick our competitors off. But by my estimates, it actually enables the building of a large, well-known brand in the area, in the local area, city, approximately 8x faster than traditional methods, simply because we're being seen across so many more surfaces with a higher volume of time, So it's kind of just natural to build a large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster. And all right, here's an example of what S-Cube methodology could enable for a boudoir photography business. So we are going to Fairbanks, Alaska, and there are 1 million boudoir photographers there. We are one of them. And we got, we literally, everyone's got their websites and they shoot boudoir, they're boudoir photographers. Everyone's trying to rank page one Google search. They're like, man, we ain't got, a large, well-known brand right now. The only, S-Cube methodology, literally that's the only way that we can compete. So let's say we take S-Cube methodology, we crank it up to the max, and let's say we take the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across all of social search, and let's say that flows onto Google search for this highest intent boudoir buyer keywords as well for our city, and we're taking the first 300 slots on Google. So, 10 organic slots per page on Google. So that means we'd be taking up essentially 30 pages. So basically, anyone in our area searching anything related to boudoir photography, boudoir photo shoot in their city. I mean, we're basically the only ones showing up. Social search, Google search, we're basically the only ones that they're seeing. So whose business is most likely growing in this situation? Ours. Whose business most likely failing, disappearing, becoming invisible? Most likely our, the 999,909 other boudoir photographer competitors that are in Fairbanks with us. So again, this is like ultra extreme example, but this is what S-Cube methodology could enable in, kind of in the most extreme case. Now, once you're with S-Cube methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And so yeah, we're getting more slots page one on Google, like that initial benefit. And then a lot of boudoir photographers actually, their favorite's the second benefit, where every new link we get page one slot on Google, we're actually kicking our competitor off page one Google, putting them page two or deeper, and now we know they're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace, and putting their business on the path to disappearing. So we could literally, by our effort, we can control how many of our competitors actually go, kind of go on the path to disappearing, simply based on our effort. And so it's like it's a fan favorite for boudoir photographers of initial benefit that they can get with S-Cube's methodology. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. And the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search as kind of the minimum baseline recommendation, because basically everyone else can have one slot, page one Google search. So if we got 3 slots, we're dominating them. And in the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots. We got 3, so we're still dominating them. So that's where the 3 out of 10 recommendation comes from. And we also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So we got our entire universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, either 0 or 1 slots page one Google search, is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality, which we'll see in the next picture. We discovered that we know for a fact it's a false belief. And we achieve page one visibility. Well, we utilize S-Cube methodology to solve that. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So it's our, basically our micro universe here. Now here's some results. So this is what I want to super rank for this term, BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate, take over page one Google search. And so I went to work using SQ methodology. So let's see these are the results of what I got. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And finally, slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days purely by using SQ methodology. So if someone's searching this term, who are they clicking on? Who are they coming to? Obviously me. All right, now main event here. We're going to check this Boudoir photography business. We're going to check out its local search and its city search. See if they got BSS for either local or their city search, and also see if they're hitting the GBC recommended minimums, 3 out of 10 slots for each. So we're going to Hampton, Virginia, and Newport News, Virginia. All right, let's head over there now. Hampton, Virginia, just no data. All right, so let's see what we got. Go to organic. So boom, we got one. Let's see what else. Let's see. All right, so we got one. So we got 1 out of 10 for local. Yeah. All right, so 1 out of 10 for local. And now let's check city. Let's see. And 1 out of 10 for city. All right, so for both. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 for both. And so that means we got BSS for both of them. And we're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for either of them. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, so you've done the BSS search for local and for city for yourself, and you are you're saying you either got BSS or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google, and you've seen SQ methodology, like, wow, that's exactly what I need. That's what I want. That's what I've been waiting for. Kind of solve this, kind of dominate page 1, which honestly is kind of secondary benefit. Kicking our competitors off page 1 is probably the most important thing. Getting them to page 2, where they're invisible to approximately 80% of Google searches. And you're saying, okay, SQ methodology, you decide, okay, that can get you there. And the you understand the page, the false belief of page 1 quality is exactly that, a false belief. So you're like, okay, now we can break through kind of mental barrier and see what are the solutions after to take as many page 1 slots on Google, as I want to put in the effort to acquire. And you understand market saturation, basically new gear, new people coming into Boudoir, new websites, new people competing on page 1, yeah. But you're also looking ahead, seeing AI is going to take more and more people's jobs. And since everyone's got a smartphone with an awesome camera, it's actually going to force more and more boudoir photographers into the market than potentially ever, just because AI is going to be so widespread. So you're thinking ahead. You like the initial benefits of boudoir, where basically, or at least you like the initial benefits of getting more slots page 1 on Google, kicking out more boudoir photographers off page 1 on Google. And you also like that SQ methodology can actually fortify your position in the new boudoir peeps coming into the marketplace. And so you're seeing, okay, SQ methodology can help fortify that position as well, kind of like building up the levees for New Orleans, Louisiana, to keep the ocean out, because New Orleans is below sea level. And you want to achieve page 1 visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you need those things in order to become #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also thinking ahead to the extended future benefits, which is kind of the more that we execute S-cubed correctly every single day, we're building up these kind of invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our brand, attached to our business, attached to our kind of like invisible mindshare for AI mindshare. And that actually increased the probability that we are brought up in this AI overview premium placement. This probability increases every day we run S-cubed methodology correctly. And this is a premium placement. And also it increased the probability that AI search recommends this, ChatGPT search and, Claude search, Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini. Because I remember the last time I looked for a boudoir photographer in a city, they only recommended me 3. And I went on Google to look at that city, like actually how many options exist. There's about 60. So I was like, dude, we gotta figure out a way to get on here. So you're also seeing S-cubed methodology is the best way to get that done. And you're also seeing, since we be on all these social platforms, dominating the social search, we can create a brand much faster, which is really just kind of like momentum mindshare. And you're also seeing that you decide to be a first mover advantage and be the first one in your city to utilize S-cubed methodology, because my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer for your city. So that enables you to kind of box out all your competitors from using this. So you're saying you can get super ahead with all these slots page 1 on Google, all this momentum of, basically all this momentum of kind of this invisible thematic keyword column mindshare, and really put a large amount of distance between yourself and all your competitors. And conversely, if one of your competitors works with me instead, you understand you'd have to go and rederive or derive for the first time S-cubed methodology. And then you'd have to then go execute it at the same rate as me and your competitor each day. And you probably wouldn't feel comfortable putting that much time in, because you'd never be 100% confident that you've even derived it or rederived it correctly in the first place. And then at that point, even if you equal our effort, our output, you would simply be maintaining the gap we've already built between you. You'd have to actually double or triple our output to kind of close that gap and gain on us, and kind of pull back this thematic keyword, invisible thematic keyword columns from, kind of AI mindshare we're acquiring. You'd have to pull that momentum away from us. And like, dude, who's got 80 hours a day to do all this? Who's got 80 hours a day? Nobody. So you've decided, screw that. You've already decided you're gonna be the first one to actually, the first one in your city to utilize this, so you can get all these initial benefits and future benefits. So that's you. Shoot me a DM. The hospital is currently closed, but if you actually, when I do open DMs for new patient intake, shoot me a DM then, and we'll see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.